Sun and Moon was revealed to the world 27th of February 2016 and will be released November 18th, 2016. Now, I'm not a person who uploads Sun and Moon videos. I've uploaded one in the past, which is not exactly Sun and Moon. I might upload a couple in the future, but I'm not building myself to be a Sun and Moon YouTuber. I mean, who would ever do that? But anyways, this is also going to kick off the first episode of a new series I'd like to introduce called Disaster Discussion, where I'll talk about a bit of Pokemon that doesn't fit into Fact of the Days, but I don't want to constrict to a top 10. So talking about Sun and Moon this episode. I might talk about the Pokemon movies, I might talk about maybe a spin-off games, I might do some episodes with some of my friends, I might just do them on my own. This episode of Disaster Discussion will have a few of my friends, which I'll have linked in the description below. And also, you guys, I want you guys to comment your own opinions about Sun and Moon, and whether this should be a continuum series. Now, without further ado, let's hope you enjoy this video and let's get right into it.
Hey everybody, King Corfish here. The only Pokemon shirt I own is a Christmas one, so, let's deal with it. The Pokemon Sun and Moon news over these past few months have been absolutely overwhelming. I absolutely love the Alola region. As a lot of people know, my favorite Pokemon games are Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, which are made up in a more tropical setting. And seeing the Alola region flesh out this tropical vibe is really awesome for me. As far as the starters go, Rowlet, Litten, and Popplio, I love all three of them the same. In every single region, there's always one starter Pokemon that stands out over the other two, in my opinion. For Kanto, it's Squirtle. For Johto, it's Cyndaquil. For Hoenn, it's Trico. For Sinnoh, it's Chimchar. For Unova, it's Oshawott. And for Kalos, it's Froakie. But as far as the Alolan starters go, I can't really even choose which one I like the best. This is literally the first time this ever happened. I can't decide which one of the three is my favorite. In all honesty, I'm going to end up choosing Litten, not because I like it better than the other two, but just so I can have an excuse to name it Kittler. As far as the other new Pokemon that have been announced up to this point, my personal favorites are Lunala, Palossand, Zygarde 10% form, Vikavolt, Rockruff, Wishiwashi, as well as its Get F***ing Schooled form, and my personal favorite, Edgelord Pikachu. The Pokemon this time around seem to be a lot more creative and obscure than Pokemon from generations past, and I really love that. All while still maintaining that tropical vibe that Fame Greek is going for. Something else new that Pokemon is trying to bring to the table with this generation is the Alolan forms. Honestly, I think the Alolan forms are absolutely awesome. To my knowledge, Alolan forms don't add anything new to the Pokemon, they just change them up a little bit. Doing things like making Raichu surf on itself, making Exeggutor make me feel more insecure about my penis size, and making Meowth not give a fuck.
Like, damn, that face is more bitchy than your generic high school cheerleader.
Personally, my favorite Alolan form is Ninetales. I already thought that Ninetales had an absolutely badass design, but then they just decided to add ice to it, which makes it absolutely killer. I'm definitely going to be using Alolan form Ninetales in my team in Pokemon Moon. I'm gonna be 100% honest, I'm still really unclear on what the Alolan forms are and what they do. I'm not sure if they're supposed to change the Pokemon's design to make them more tropical, or if they're supposed to take what's already been established and just change it to the opposite. It seems like there's no consistency in what Alolan forms are quite yet. So if I wanted to see two Alolan Pokemon, I'm honestly not even sure if it's possible yet, but this is just what I want to see. The main Pokemon I'd love to see get in Alolan form would be Rapidash. Rapidash has a really sweet design as is, but doesn't quite hold up in battle. It seems to get outclassed by other fire Pokemon, mainly the ones that came after it. If Rapidash were to gain an Alolan form, I'd like to see it get wings and become a straight up Pegasus instead of a normal, boring horse. If it resembled a Pegasus, then you know it would have to be given the fairy flying type combo. It would work way too well. Crank its special attack way up there, and give that thing speed boost, so that at the end of every turn its wings can make it fly faster and faster.
There's probably some sort of brony joke to be made about this Alolan form idea, but I'm not gonna make it.
Cloud9 would also work really well for an Alolan Rapidash, in my opinion. And another Pokemon I'd like to see get in Alolan form would be Seviper. Seviper is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. Even as a kid, I've always loved the concept and design of Seviper, and whenever I'd use it in my team, it wouldn't quite hold up in battle. Seviper is literally weaker than that kid in high school who no one would talk to because they would anime run down the hallway in between classes. If Seviper were to get in a Lowland form, I'd say keep the poison typing on it and add dark to it. And just like Rapidash, crank the special attack way up there, and for an ability, I'd say give it rivalry. I found this concept art for a Mega Seviper on the internet while doing research, and I just thought that it was way too badass to not show off. So if Seviper were to get in a Lowland form, I would imagine it would be something like this. And if Seviper were to get in a Lowland form, then you know that Zangoose would have to get in a Lowland form as well. Give that thing rivalry and crank up its attack stat. It would just work way too well. A lot of people are speculating out there if there's going to be gyms in Pokemon Sun and Moon, if there's going to be HMs in Sun and Moon, and... Alright, first of all, what the fuck? Pokemon is a game series that's established itself with a set formula, a set game format for the past 20 years, where you battle all of the gyms, you gain an HM so then you can progress farther in the overworld. Why would they change that for this new generation? It just doesn't make sense. They have something that's established. Why would you change it? It has been something that's happened in every single Pokemon game since the beginning of time, and changing it would honestly be stupid. I honestly have no clue where this idea of, oh, they're getting rid of the HMs, and they're getting rid of the gym battle, and they're getting rid of Mega Evolution. I have no clue where this idea came from. Like, yeah, I know nothing's been confirmed yet, and I know they have those island challenge things or whatever, but come on, this is Pokemon. They're not going to change anything at all. I don't know why everybody's thinking that all these things that have been already established are going to be gone in these new games. So come on, guys, let's not be stupid here. It's all returning. Alright, now that I've just told off the entire Pokemon community and they're all gonna, hate me, let's plug my shit. Thank you so much, Disaster, for having me on your channel to give my opinions on Sun and Moon. The game comes out in 3 months. I'm so hyped for it. If you guys want to see more of the content that I make, you can click right here to check out my video on Blue's Clues, Blue Takes You to School for the PC. That was a really fun time. Or if you want to see some more Pokemon content, because yeah, I do that on my channel as well, you can click right here to check out my video on Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I did that for the 20th anniversary of Pokemon, and it has another YouTuber in there who goes by the name of Asteroid Mania Videos. You might know him. He's, in this video as well, giving his opinions on Sun and Moon, which are probably a lot more positive than mine, let's be real here. But with all that being said, thank you for watching. Again, thank you, Disaster. I bumped my hand out. Thank you, Disaster, for having me on your channel. And goodbye. I don't have like an outro. Crap. By the way, completely forgot to mention this. I love the HUD in the new Pokemon Sun and Moon. I love the little scribbles behind the health bar. I love the color, and it's so aesthetic, and I love it. Screw you, Asteroid. It's awesome. Go die.
I'm honestly in love with Sun and Moon. The game's gonna fill the void of excitement and enjoyment that Gen 6 should have tried to fill. The Pokemon feel like they're more inspired and intricate, playing into the fact that Alola is located within a tropical environment. My favourite region, like Ryan's, is Hoenn, and to see the game go full out with a tropical vibe is amazing. Props to Game Freak for extending out the idea. Pokemon I'm definitely hyped for include Vikavolt, Stuffle, Mimikyu, Rockruff, Popplio, Gumshoos, Drampa, Salandit, Wishiwashi, Lunala, and Alola Marowak, to name a few. I'm really excited for the Alola form gimmick that Game Freak is going for. It reminds me of the Delta species Pokemon card, which was set in Holland, which was a very tropically based region near Hoenn. I'm really excited for the trial captains. They seem like they're going to change the scope of the game. Z moves also sound really hype. I really can't wait to use them within the game. The Rotom Pokédex is pretty nifty as well. I can't wait for the Battle Royale, Because the main thing is it going to change the YouTube scene? What's it going to do there? The only thing that's not going to affect me, but really sounds cool, is the concept of hyper training. Well, the way I see it, it's just super training on steroid. And by far the best feature that'll be added, in my opinion, will be the Poke Ride. I'm curious to see how it changes the game. They get rid of gym leaders, I hear you ask. No, I don't think so. Not entirely. It could be part of a post-game idea, returning to Kalos and rebattling their gym leaders. If that happens then I hope we can take the train to get to Korea Town and get to Kalos from there. Unless Game Freak wants to curveball us with new gym leaders returning, I doubt it, because major release years, half of them are usually revealed about 4 to 5 months before release, and instead of getting news of potential gym leaders, we got the trial captains. I think there could be some different system at the Elite Four if they are scrapped as well, but if they aren't, it could be entirely possible that we go to Kalos and fight an updated version of them. I think certain HMs such as Cut, Fly, Surf and Strength might remain as HMs, while others such as Waterfall, Dive and Rock Smash will become TMs. I think that the Poke Ride mechanic will be advertised as the preferred option for trainers to use, but with restrictions. Firstly, you'll have to beat the first trial captain. Secondly, there could be a fee of 100 Poke Dollars with the price discounting as you beat each subsequent trial captain. Being the second one will lower the price to 50 Poke, being the third trial captain will lower the price to 20 Poke, and being the final trial captain can make the service free. I'm actually indifferent about HM, so I'm not bothered about the changes that occur. I'd love to see Mega Evolution return to Sun and Moon to carry on the Mega Universe, but Game Freak seems to be keeping us in the dark about its future, despite the fact that pre-16, they were promoting the hell out of it. I can see Z-Moves and Mega Evolutions working together, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if Mega Evolution doesn't return. If Mega Evolution doesn't make a turn, what would be the wider universe? Would it be the original, or would there be a newer universe? So the first Lowland form I really want to see is a Lowland Crobat and a Lowland Crobat. Their types will be Dark and Poison, their ability will be Speed Boost, the stats will be increase in attack and special attack, and the way I see it, their description would be, due to living in less secluded caves in other regions and at higher altitudes, a Lowland form Crobat and Crobat have better adapted to the outside and have increased eyesight. Their wings have grown more widely to accommodate the fact that they fly up at higher altitudes. Due to feasting on harder to eat food and sucking out their liquid contents, their teeth have become more rigid and sharper. They are more aggressive and are likely to tell a loud screech if they've been disturbed. Crobat and Crobat can gain access to Crunch, because fun fact, they don't actually learn Crunch. They can also learn Beat Up, Night Slash, Sucker Punch, Sludge Wave, Hurricane, and or Sky Tap. I believe that Crobat and Crobat deserve a Lowland form, because one, Crobat would have been a Pokemon that I would love to have seen as a Mega Pokemon. I really like them, and it'll push them over the edge in competitive battling, as well as I think that could push for a more bat or vampire-like design choice. So the second Lowland form that I think should be implemented into Sun and Moon is Alolan Graveler and Golem. Its type could be Rock and Fire with the ability Flame Body. It could have increased physical attack and defense, and the reason why it would get an Alolan form is because due to a native golem population living near active volcanoes as Geodude, they melt into the magma, and once they evolve into Graveler, they gain the fire type. The rock is more solid, whereas the flowing magma is liquefied and visibly seen moving through its core. They can easily learn Inferno, Fire Punch, Flame Charge, Heat Crash, Flame Wheel, Lava Plume, and or Flame Boot. I think Graveler and Golem deserve Alola forms because its presence in Alola will be fitting, as they would symbolize volcanic rock. It will give them a much needed edge in competitive battling. And 3, I did want to see Golem as a Mega Pokemon, but it better suits being in an Alolan form. Thank you for watching my analysis, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. See you in a bit.
Hi, how you doing? My name is Asteroid, and Disaster told me to come on and talk about the new Pokemon Sun and Moon trailer that was dropped on August 1st, 2016. So we're gonna go ahead and just give my opinions on it, and just some other information that I want to talk about. So, my overall opinion, I loved the trailer. I thought the captains were great. I thought the Z-moves were great. The new Pokemon are awesome. The Alola forms are awesome. I'm really interested to see how these things affect the metagame. Like, especially the Alola forms and the Z-moves. I think the Z-moves will be really interesting. Because they're kind of like Mega Evolution in that you can only use them once per battle. And I'm assuming they're going to be insanely powerful. But the thing about Z-moves that I guess kind of differs them from Mega Evolutions is that Mega Evolutions is a whole new form. And like, once you Mega Evolve, you have those stat boosts and like that power up. You have that power up for the entirety of the match after you Mega Evolve. The thing about Z moves is it's like a one hit thing. So if you're in a single battle, you might get one Oko, but that's all you're going to get out of it. When it comes to Megas, you Mega Evolve, you have those stat boosts for the entirety of the match. You could theoretically 6-0 a team with that boost you have. So I feel like these aren't going to be as broken as Mega Evolutions, but I think they're going to be very, very useful for like breaking walls and like knocking out Chanseys. And I think with the rising popularity of these moves, I feel like Pokemon like Chansey and like really, really bulky stall Pokemon are going to become very, very popular. Just because they're going to be the only Pokemon that can take these hits, assuming they're really, really strong. So it'll be really interesting to see how they balance these moves out, because usually you don't see really powerful attacks in the metagame. Like you typically see more accuracy over power, and not vice versa. So that'll be really intriguing. I'm looking forward to that. Next up, we're going to be talking about the new confirmed starter Pokemon, and how they were talking about how this leak showed a picture of Mallow, or whatever the trial captain is, and how it's pretty much confirmed. Now, I really hope that this leak is not true. I really hope it isn't, because, like, Rowlet's Final Evolution, it looks cool, Poplio's looks cool, Litten's not so much, and I love Litten, and I really hope they don't screw up the design like they did with these leaks. And I know there's a very good chance that these are real, just because of the fact that Mallow was in the leak before Mallow even existed. So there's a very, very good chance, but I still don't want to believe it. I mean, I'm going to choose Rowlet anyway, pretty much, but I just don't want Litten's evolution at all. And Poplio is okay, but I feel like they could have done better. And I feel like they could have done better with Rowlet too. I mean, I like the whole archery concept, but that's pretty much it. Next up, we have gym leaders. Do I think gym leaders will be returning? I really hope so, because if the main story is just these 4 trials, I feel like it's going to be a really short game. Unless they can really beef up the amount of content per trial, and they can put enough like content in between the trials, I feel like the game would be really, really short without gyms. But at the same time, I feel like if they added gyms, the game would be really, really hectic. And there'd be like kind of too much going on at once. Because if you really add in the fact that there's going to be gyms, or there could be gyms, these trial captains, or these trials, and then on top of that, like the evil team shenanigans and that type of stuff, we haven't seen any confirmation of an evil team. So that's pretty interesting. Maybe there won't be an evil team. Maybe you just won't have a villain. And the legendaries, like, there'll be something else. Maybe Zygarde's the villain. I don't know. Maybe Team Flare will come in and be like, yo, give me Zygarde. And then we'll be like, no. And then, like, the 2 main legendaries of the games will come in and, like, help Zygarde. And, okay, I'm off topic. But, yeah, I think, I mean, I feel like it could go either way. It depends on how extensive these trials are. Because I don't know. I feel like there's got to be at least an Elite Four and Champion. Or maybe this is the Elite Four. Like, I could see them doing a thing where they have gyms, and then this is the Elite Four that spans across the 4 islands. So, like, after you collect all 8 gym badges, you have to go back to each island, beat the 4 Elite Four members, and then come back and then take on the champion in the center island. Like, I could see that being a thing. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know. I really hope they keep gyms, because I just like gyms, man. Like, I like this concept, but I don't think it's going to be too extensive. And I feel like they're going to need more, or else the game's going to be really short. My monitor's just turned off. But next topic, HMs. I think HMs are no more. And I really hope that's the case, because I hate HMs with a passion. I think they'll make Surf, and they'll make Waterfall, and they'll make Cut. They'll make all those moves TMs. And then HMs will be no more. Like, I really hope that's the case. Maybe they'll boost the base power of Cut and Rock Smash or whatever, and they'll just make them TMs. I think that these supportive Pokemon will replace HMs. Because I think the main reason why they keep HMs in the game is so that way your Pokemon have some sort of impact on the real world around you, besides just in battle or in contests or whatever. So I think that this is going to be a thing. And I think you'll be able to take, well, actually, I don't know. I was going to say that you might be able to take saddles and, like, you could use your own Pokemon, but I'm pretty sure it said on the website that, like, you could call on these Pokemon whenever you need them. It's not like they're your Pokemon. It's like rental Pokemon. So I think it'll be like X and Y. Or, you know what? I think it'll be like a combination between X and Y and ORAS with the soaring features. Like, it'll be soaring plus the Mamoswine and the Rhyhorn in X and Y. So, like, you'll be able to call on them whenever, like, in ORAS, but they won't be your Pokemon, like in X and Y. You'll just be able to use them to cross certain areas or fly around. And I think the Charizard will be, like, the new soaring feature. And I really hope they bring back soaring because I love soaring. I think soaring was a way for them to test this feature. Like, I think X and Y and ORAS was just leading up to this. And they were just testing, like, how players could ride Pokemon and how players could use Pokemon to soar around. I think that was pretty much that. So yeah. Anyways, next topic, Mega Evolution. I really hope they bring back Megas because I love Megas. I really love Megas. I really do. They need to bring back Megas, please. Please, Game Freak. Do I think they will just completely get rid of Megas? No. I don't think they will. Because when you consider the amount of money and the amount of effort and the amount of, like, time and energy Game Freak put into designing those Megas and, making them a part of the game, I don't think they would make it 6th gen exclusive. Like, people will argue that, like, certain features in certain Pokemon games were pretty much deleted in future generations, like how walking with Pokemon hasn't been seen since Heart Gold Soul Silver. I don't think Mega Evolution will be one of those things. Because walking with Pokemon, I mean, you can kinda dismiss that, you know? But Megas were huge. Like, Megas were really, really big. Not just for the metagame, but also for the main story and stuff. And I don't know, man. And, like, the amount of advertisement they put into these Megas, like, if you look at the TCG, almost every single, I wouldn't say almost every single, but there are Mega Evolutions on a lot of the packs. And, like, they use Mega Evolution as a way to advertise the TCG. So I don't think they could get rid of it that easily. You know, and I don't think it would be smart from a business standpoint. Like, maybe Mega Evolution will take a step back in the games. I don't think it'll be like a major plot device, like how it was in X and Y. I think it'll be more like ORAS. Because, like, in ORAS, it really wasn't a main plot point, but it was still in the game. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think you'll still be able to find Mega Stones. I think you'll get a keyring at some point. At least I hope so. Because I could see them scattering the Mega Stones around. And maybe you like, get a Mega Stone for completing the trial challenge or whatever. So, who knows? Next up, 2 Pokemon that I want to have in Alola form. Now, I gave 2 examples here, and I also gave 1 example of a Pokemon that I don't want to have in Alola form. And the rule here was that it could not be our mascot. So, excluding Lapras, I would love to see an Alola Flygon, and also an Alola Volcarona. And I know that we've only seen Gen 1 so far, but if they were to give other generations, I would want to see Volcarona and Flygon. When it comes to Flygon, I want it to be a dragon and flying type. Because I have a really good idea as to how they could, they could justify this, besides just the fact that fly is in its name. Like, they could justify it by saying that these types of Flygon evolved in the mountainous regions of Alola, and because they were at such high elevations, they weren't as in tune with the ground, and they had to really, really hone in their flying skills, which made them dragon flying. I could see it being more aerodynamic. I could see it being like a bluish color, with like more curved wings. It would basically just be like a more aerodynamic Flygon. And I think it would be really cool. So, maybe bigger wings, curved, more aerodynamic. It could fly at faster speeds. It's more offensive. So I'd like to see, some stat raises in attack, special attack, and speed. It would also be able to learn flying type moves like Brave Bird and Air Slash. Like, that'd be awesome. And I think a good ability for it would be adaptability. Like, that would be broken. Like, just this Alola form, if they gave it a bit of a stat boost in attack and speed, this thing would launch straight into OU. So that'd be awesome. And I think that the fact that the Alola form stats are different is confirmed, because in the description for Sandshrew, it says that Alola Sandshrew is slower than regular Sandshrew. So I feel like the stats can change, which leads me to believe that they might give it more offense and more speed, which would be awesome. The next Alola form that I want is Volcarona. And I could see Volcarona being a grass type. Like a grass bug type. I know grass bug is not a good type combination, but I could really see it. Because, like, Volcarona is the sun Pokemon, but what if these Volcarona grew up in, like, how do I say it? In like fields, like grassy fields, and they're still like in tune with the sun, but they're more, how do I say it? They're not like a direct representation of the sun. They more like get their energy from the sun in the form of a grass type. So that's why I think giving it the ability Chlorophyll would be awesome. They could lower its speed, give it more bulk, give it more offense, and give it Solar Beam. So you could run like Solar Beam, what else? Solar Beam, Bug Buzz, Quiver Dance. Like, that'd be awesome. And give it like a green color scheme. Maybe like have flowers on its head or something. I don't know, man. I don't know, that'd be cool. But yeah, Solar Beam. Maybe give it less speed, a lot more offense. And maybe even give it like a grass type Fiery Dance. You know, like have like Leaf Dance, where it's just like Fire Dance wakes up its leaves. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But the one Pokemon that I don't want to see get in Alola form is any of the evolutions, because that would just be horrible. Like, I don't want evolutions to have an Alola form, because if you change Umbreon's typing into like a freaking Psychic type, then Espeon is pointless. I mean, I guess it would be kind of cool if they swapped some of the types, like swapped it completely. I would be okay with that. But don't just give 1 or 3 evolutions in Alola form. Like, you either give them all Alola forms, or you give like 2 of them Alola forms. And have them like switch types. Like, maybe give an Espeon the Dark type, and then give Umbreon the Psychic type. You know, like that would be cool. I could see that happening. Or maybe give like Glaceon the Grass typing, and then Leafeon the Ice typing. You know, I'm not sure how they would do that, because when you really think about it, all the evolutions are Alola forms of themselves. Like Leafeon is a Grass Glaceon, and Glaceon is an Ice Leafeon, and Umbreon is a Dark Espeon, you know? So they're kind of all Alola forms of each other, but it'd be really cool to see some of them swap. Like, I'd be okay with that. But overall, I'd rather them not get any evolutions, or not get any Alola forms. I guess another Pokemon that I wouldn't want to see an Alola form of would be freaking Arceus, just because it doesn't need one, and it's Sinnoh native, and it can change type to whatever it wants anyway. So that's that. But I think that's pretty much it for what Disaster told me to talk about. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and peace!